Welcome back out to Superstition Mountain. Last week I did a really good video, and I know a lot of you guys really liked it, about what's lead arm abduction, abduction, where the arm actually comes off the chest. And I had a lot of questions on this topic about how that arm comes off the chest if I'm turning. People thought if you're turning, wouldn't the arm just stay connected? Now I'm going to show you what the dynamics are that actually allow that arm to come off so you can accelerate your hands more and in turn accelerate the club more. So I've got Henry Fall out here with me. Henry is part of Milo Lines Golf now, and he's going to be helping me a lot with the sight, and he's actually a really good player as well and a really good coach. So let's talk through this a little bit. Henry, so we know from looking at gears, the best players in transition, their lead arm adducts, which means it goes more across their chest, but then from about the time their hands reach this position, through the golf ball, their hands are actually or their arm is moving off their chest, and their body is still rotating.
Yep.
How is that possible? What's one of the keys, or what is the real key that allows that to be able to happen?
Well, I mean, if you think of your right arm here, eventually you need to make room for this right arm to travel, right?
Okay, so
if my left arm's on my chest, I got no room.
Exactly. So your right arm, how does it function in a golf swing?
Right, it's much like skipping a rock or...
Somewhat like throwing. It doesn't really go as external as throwing does, but it's somewhat in that manner, right? The real difference, there's two arms, so it's not going to go as external as a throw. But the right arm is definitely moving like I'm going to throw this way. So if I was going to throw it at the camera, my right arm would work like this. Now if I connected my left hand, you can see that's not touching me anymore.
Why don't you turn for the... So do that same motion you just did. Just so
I'm going to throw a ball like this. Now put my left arm on, and you can see that there's space there.
Now go back, put your right hand back where that left hand was. Now let's get your left arm pinned against your chest. So what does this look? This looks like the most stuck position I've ever seen. So he has no room to operate.
Yeah, so if you're not getting your left arm off your chest, the culprit is probably your right arm. What's probably happening is in transition, your body's turning and your right arm is staying back.
Yep.
Okay? So now this will be the next question everybody has. How do we fix it? If you're doing that, what do we do to stop it? Well, there's lots of things we can do. One really good thing you can do is hit some shots with a ball between your arms, right? Because if my arm falls back and there's a ball between my arms, the ball's on the ground now.
Yep.
So I'm going to have to figure out how to move this unit together, and that's going to create that abduction that I'm looking for.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, one of Ben Hogan's big things was where that right arm traveled, and he used to put a belt around his arms. Now it's a little opposite of the ball, because the ball you have to hold, whereas the belt you're almost pushing out.
Yeah. Now in reality, most really good players at impact, their lead arm is not straight.
Yeah.
So this would be an exaggeration, keeping it like that. In reality, this arm is actually there's a lot of slack in it.
Yeah.
And because there's slack in it, when I go to turn, you can see that turns that into kind of a bow. So
that speaks to the flow you often bring up in these videos.
For sure. Everything's a flowing motion, and because this arm is actually not tense, I'm not pushing it out, it's soft. So when I get to impact, this arm looks like this, and this arm looks like this, and that's that, I call it the home plate look. At impact, most really good players have this home plate look.
So if I'm at home and I'm doing this adduction feel where the left arm stays up to start the downswing, what would be the next step for me? If I'm here, I've got this left arm kind of feeling up and on my chest, it's got to still come off, right?
The next step is your body just keeps unwinding, but because you've loaded this lat, and your right arm is functioning correctly, now this is going to sling off of you naturally, just like it does there. So do that same thing facing the camera so everybody can see what happened there. So it adducts. Now, because it's all loaded, you can see how loaded up this all is. Now it's naturally going to start to sling off, and you can see here, there's a window.
Yep.
And that's what most of the best players look like.
And this doesn't go down the line, it goes back around.
It goes back around.
Gotcha.
So your chest is turning, and your arms are swinging, it's not all connected, right? So we're not swinging connected like this.
Yeah.
These are free. These are independently operating contraptions that we're slinging around ourselves. And that's how it's done. So it's all, your arms are independent, your right arm is functioning, and it's creating this look in the left arm. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time a new video comes out. Also, I'd love to have you as a member of MiloLinesGolf.com, where I can help you one-on-one to improve at your game.